I'll start with Advocate Tipanyani. Then into the Advocate Haimani, and the last candidate would be Advocate Hoc Committee. Please. No, I mean, no, all right, no, please, don't subvert our agreement. We're agreed that this is the order we're following. Right. All right, thank you. All right, so let's start. Advocate Tipanyani. Anyone wants to go first? No, we're now dealing with the last three candidates. Yes, the order that they appeared before us. Right? Oh, we follow the same sequence. Oh, no, it's fine. Thank you very much.
Just a clarity. If we start with him, what do we do? No. To express whether he should eliminate it or we express as to he should be considered for responsibility.
If you motivate for him to be considered, so be it. If you think it's not someone you would prefer, and then in the end we'll then vote. All right? Okay. So we start with the African National Congress, right? Yeah. Honorable Sabri.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I found Advocate Tipanyani Sidiso to have had an in-depth understanding of the role of an executive authority, especially with the context of a Chapter 9 institution. For me, he's an all-rounder and has a vast experience in that environment of a Chapter 9 institution. Demonstrated confidence and the ability to execute this mandate or PP. However, Chair, I had a challenge on some of the questions. For me, was a bit broad and generic on some of the questions. He didn't give me a clear approach on issues of how you address challenges on the PP and improve the functionality PPSA. He lacked a clear plan, according to my observation. And I think, like I indicated earlier on, for me this was a very critical question that came for the candidates. So at this stage, Chair, I would submit that we put him aside for this decision. Thank you, Chair.
He should not be considered.
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Advocate Brenda.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. I found the candidate to be wholly unsuitable. He had a shallow to zero understanding of, in my view, administrative law, which is an essential understanding for that job. He talked very much, but he said very little. And he had difficulty remembering the things that he relied upon as quotes. So I found him wholly unsuitable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the office of the PP is in desperate need of someone who does not bring in a package. The institution really needs a fresh start, an opportunity to regain its credibility. Even the slightest reactions and connections to reactionary organizations such as the Soros Foundation will cast aspersions in the office. We acknowledge the fact that Advocate Tipanyani himself said when he realized there was something wrong, he resigned from the board. But Chair, we don't want anyone in the future questioning reports of the PP George Soros's report, because he was linked to them before. Also, Chair, anyone who does not have the confidence to comment on high-profile matters with conviction may struggle with such cases. He struggled a lot when we asked him questions about some of the high-profile. And also, he didn't fully prepare. He was asked about the APP, he was found wanting. So those are the basic things we would do to prepare for the interview. We want to know what is the APP with the annual performance of the institution. I don't think he did take this interview very seriously, and therefore we support that he must not be considered. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. I think we all agree that the top three candidates that we're discussing now performed better than all of them. I will only highlight one reason why I think he should be eliminated at this stage. Because there was a reference to his changing of jobs now and then. And to me, he did not give me a specific answer. Instead, he opted to leave that to me to say, you think for yourself, if you become a job hopper, then have it that way. Yet I expected a leader like himself to convince me that he's committed to public service and him changing jobs doesn't mean anything except to say anywhere to cause him to actually respond to that. So he must be eliminated.
Thank you very much. Honorable Janchi.
For very strange reasons, I support Honorable Breitenbach.
There is alliance developing here. Honorable Ehon.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think there's two reasons why I agree that Advocate Mnyane should be eliminated now at this point. First is that he lacks real investigative or adjudicative experience. And the second is that I think as an administrative authority, he over the years have tended to encroach on the domain of the executive authority, and I believe what we need now is for a public protector who will bring no potential for internal controversy to the office. Thank you.
Honorable Wessels.
Thank you, Chairperson. I agree that he is not suitable. I was worried about his comprehension of legal principles, especially the principle of legality. And I think he's, I don't think he's suitable for the position, so I agree with colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mananeso.
Thank you, Chair. Without wasting time, I agree with the colleagues. Thank you.
Honorable Soma.
Chair, thank you very much. While agreeing and aligning myself with my colleagues, but also the intention of the interviews is not to destroy a person. We must also highlight the points and areas where I think that he was good, such as the better understanding and appreciation of the Chapter 9 institutions, and also vis-a-vis the executive authorities, where he had a fairly good understanding of that. And of course, he demonstrated a high level of confidence in his ability to execute the PPP role and lead that office. However, if you come to an interview, you would ordinarily, as an assumption that you will know better if you are in that space, that you must know the business plan and the budget and AG's issues as well. But this, and also how are those areas of concern that would have been raised by AG, whether they are financial or the predetermined programs and objectives that you have, etc., how you will turn around the situation. And that's where, for me, he really falls short on that. Hence, that my alignment with my colleagues that he must be eliminated as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Soma. Honorable Kwasi.
No, I support colleagues that he must be eliminated. although he was very articulate and confident, but he was very evasive when asked how, the how part. He was very evasive, and I generally found that as a person who's going to be an executive authority, that is very concerning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we are done with this candidate. We can then move to the second candidate. I will tell you when to take the next break. Let's go to the next candidate. Who wants to come in first? Guys, it's sequence. What is it? All right. Anyone to start? Honorable Tapi.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think generally Advocate Gcaleka had an excellent interview, was well prepared, answered most of the questions so well. And there was a demonstration of leadership capabilities. Earlier on we spoke about the temperament. She was good in that regard. And she understands the role of PPP as a institutional mandate here in there. And the point that I took home was the question on newly developed ideas and innovations since she came to the previous interviews in 2016. There was nothing in that regard. She couldn't bring anything forth new. And like I have said earlier on, some of the things with time they catch up with us as people, as individuals. She got thrown off balance with the question that came from the Anglia SSA. She struggled really to locate her role in that regard. She denied most of the things there. And Honorable Horn, I think he went and pinned her to say, but how can things happen? And you deny, and you were not involved, but you were there. So she denied some of the things, critical stuff that she was asked. She maintained that there was good governance during her tenure, but there was an indication that repurposing of the institution was done while she was there. And she kept on denying. So that for me was it gave her a lower ebb of how she started. And in this regard, Chair, I found it deemed that I declare my position on this one that she is also not suitable for appointment. That really threw her out of balance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, she wanted us to credit her as a person of good governance, controls, and all that. But when she was taken on that, especially as it relates to her work when she was in the SSA, she, in fact, about even the things that happened, that should have happened under her watch, she started backpedaling on that one. All right. Honorable President.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Yes, I also found this candidate to be unsuitable. She was evasive and in denial with regards to her history with the State Security Department, and I found her to be very verbose, with not a lot of content.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mauke.
Thank you, Chair. I think Advocate Gcaleka has got strong administrative capabilities. However, the PP needs someone well-versed with ordinary legal matters faced by our people. And it needs somebody who is able to stand up to government bullying in defense of the Constitution, irrespective of who you are. So she didn't quite convince us that she possesses these capabilities, and we were able to pick up from her that she's a person who would resist the state kept by those who seek to defend a particular individual or interest. So I think in those bases we should not consider her for the position of the people. Thank you.
Not considered inconsistency.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with my colleagues, except to say for me, she didn't demonstrate strong leadership character throughout. So that for me then kicks her out. Thanks.
Thanks, Minister. And Honorable Judge.
Thank you, Chair. Without repeating, I am in agreement with the sentiments shared by colleagues, except to add one of the concerning things that I picked up for that institution is that we need to avoid securitizing that institution. And that's exactly what she brings. And it's not healthy for that institution, so she's not appointable for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Hon. Thanks, Judge.
Thanks, Chair. I agree with colleagues and I'm covered by the reasons I forwarded.
Thank you very much. Honorable Professors.
Thank you, Chair. I also agree with colleagues and I'm covered. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Mananiso.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think one agrees with everybody to say that Mema Muvango is actually vested in terms of the structural system, how the space work, and so on. However, she is not suitable already to occupy the PP office. So I fully agree with her elimination on this part. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mananiso. Honorable Lesoma.
Chair, thank you very much for the opportunity. Safe to say, Chair, one is that she did respond to all the questions, but the questions that were asked by Honorable Horn, yes, I think he was off balance in terms of the HR and her role within that space, within the SSA. For me, then, my level of interest we had then just went down. But having said that, Chair, if you look at the previous, because one did also had time to look at the previous interviews, one would have thought now, coming as with a new mind, will also assist us in terms of turning around the situation and also bringing back or bring innovation, as it were, in terms of the challenges that engulf the public protector as an institution. And for me, then he was a little bit bankrupt, and I will align myself with my colleagues as they presented themselves. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much. Honorable Manawanisha.
Chair, I agree with my colleagues.
Are you done? Thank you. So, not considered? All right. Let's then move to the next candidate. Who wants to go in first? The president. Or you want to go in first? Anyone else want to go in first? All right. I thought Maude wanted to go in, come in first. I didn't want to deny the opportunity to cut the ribbon. Honorable Tlabe.
I don't know why the same ANC because you are all members of committee here. Anyway, Chair, yes, no, I will lead from the front. Chair, Advocate Gcaleka, I think she also had a very excellent interview and was well prepared. For me, I remember they even spoke about it was Honorable Janji. She's among the youngest, but exhibited high levels of confidence and bravery for me, with wealth of experience in your legal practice. Advocate Gcaleka Chair provided a clear approach of improving accessibility for office of the OOP, and I just indicated on previous candidates, but for me this was very important. In fact, she has moved in that regard. We can credit that to the fact that she's 18, and it would have been a surprise if she wouldn't have any plans in place of having already, like she indicated, starting to put processes in place to strengthen the work of PPSA through continuous training development, stakeholders management. She even indicated that they are currently working with your University of KZN, for an example, in those regards. She demonstrated a good temperament, Chair, which is a very critical requirement, like I've indicated, now that the character also says a lot. I have spoken on 2 occasions about previous candidates that there are questions that would normally dislodge a person. She stood her ground on questions that you would thought they would have set off, put her off balance. She demonstrated bravery and stood by her decisions. 2 questions that came for me that was very excellent on responding. And something like that. And for me, Chair, it's clearly demonstrated a clear vision for the Office of the Public Protector within the confines of its mandate. So I would say, Chair, Advocate Gcaleka meets all the requirements for the position and has demonstrated clear conceptual understanding of the mandate and the work that she's currently doing to support your and strengthen constitutional democracy. So I would therefore, Chair, submit and propose that we recommend her that she be given the opportunity to implement the plan that she had already started for the Public Protector South Africa. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Advocate Gcaleka.
Shame, Chair, your eagerness has now caused you to lose your head.
The process is running very well.
Yes, until we got here. I can scarcely believe that we're talking about interviewing the same person. I found Advocate Gcaleka to be wholly unsuitable for the post. She has a burden of baggage that I don't think can be properly dealt with. I don't think that she answered questions entirely frankly. And I don't think that she has demonstrated in the position as acting public protector that she has sufficient experience to take over the top job. So we will not be supporting her. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Advocate Bredenbach. Honorable Mawutwe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, what is more disturbing about the acting PP is that she knew she had ambitions to apply for the position of the PP, and she accepted to act on it. and knowing very well that she wants to take over that office. The reason why the PP's term is 7 years and non-renewable is specifically such that you don't have ambitions of coming to continue. So if I were her, an honest person, she should have said, I've got ambitions to take this position and therefore I cannot act. And even worse, Chair, she takes responsibility of overseeing an investigation into the Palapala farm when she knows that the primary person of interest in that case is the President of the Republic. Now, there's something called quid pro quo, something like that. A favor for a favor. So if I find this person that he has not done wrong, it's a favor I'm doing in return. He must then do me a favor by appointing me. That is what has been created out there, Chair. She's not an honest person. We ask her about the cash transaction, which she says it was not part of the mandate. But when she was doing interviews, she said there was definitely a sale transaction. She even cited that she had an invoice and that. So she's not different from the one who came before her, who said we need to contextualize matters. So I think because of her dishonesty, which came out very clearly, I mean, her report on page 11 and 241, which is what I cited to her, clearly says that there was a private cash transaction. And it's evident in what she also said in her interviews on TV. I mean, it's all over. Comrades can go and check it. So when the situation is like this, she says this. When the situation changes, she says a different thing. So a person like that is far much more dangerous for a young democracy of our country that we have. So she's got a cloud hanging over her head, Chair. And to give her the office of the PP with the cloud hanging over her head, it's suicidal. But also, it's something that we, all of us, have got a duty to say, not in our names, not in our country. We have a young democracy. We have a duty to protect this democracy. And a person who comes across as following where the wind goes is not suitable. So as a result, Chair, we do not support Advocate Gcaleka. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to say Makwanishi will take the place of Klape. I was trying to give that order, hence I, for some reason, omitted Advocate. No, it was not out of excitement. To say, please be ready after Nkosi, because Nkosi tells us because Honorable Klape has spoken. Ndabezitha?
Thank you, Chair. I think I should begin by saying that I've been part of this process from the beginning to the end as we conclude today. I listened to all the candidates and when they present themselves, and also when they were answering questions that were posed to them. I also asked specific questions to them, trying to bring up what I think this committee needs to make an informed decision as to who to recommend. The candidate in question, Advocate Gcaleka, for me, she showed so much of self-confidence and strong leadership. It came when she was presenting during the interviews, and she demonstrated deep knowledge and understanding of the ins and outs of the office that she is occupying already. She was very insightful in that regard. Not only did she demonstrate her knowledge of the office, but also the socio-economic challenges that our country is facing. Also for me, she was not necessarily here to convince us to think that she's a good person for the job, but she confirmed that already she is there and we should not look any further. She demonstrated abilities to work independently and also playing within a team. And I do also want to allude to some references that were made to her, what you call, political involvement with the ruling party ANC. actively so in the past. And I noted, however, that personally, as a member of this committee, I didn't see that putting her in any compromised position, as she explained herself, to the effect that for almost a decade now, she has not been an active member of the ruling party. So I think, therefore, I will consider that she be considered as the public protector.
Thank you very much, Adv. Honorable Makonisha.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. I think we must start by answering the question, what was the intention of the legislature in creating the position of the Deputy Public Protector?
Sorry,
Can
yes.
you be protected?
Okay, over to you. You are protected, sir.
No, Chair, Chair, I think we must answer the question, what was the intention of the legislature in creating the position of the Deputy Public Protector? In addition to assisting the Public Protector in his or her absence, the Deputy Public Protector would be an acting Public Protector. Therefore, I don't agree with my sister, Honorable Maude, that she should have disqualified herself to say she will not act. Then if she does not act, what was going to become of that office in the absence, when Advocate Mkhwebane was suspended? So I don't think it's fair on Advocate Gcaleka. She executed her legislative duty. I also agree with Nkosi Buthelezi, Honorable Buthelezi. I think what we would be doing here is to ensure that we are really implementing a proper succession plan, that we have a person who has grown organically within the institution. And if you couple that with her performance in those interviews, she performed very well. She performed very well. All of us would have mistakes there and there, but we are not here to elect saints or to appoint saints. But I do think that a chairperson, she's got an ability to grow within the institution. She was able to answer specific questions about implementation in a detailed way. And I think she was the only candidate who did that. I will support her candidature.
Thank you very much, Honorable Makonisha. Honorable Horn.
Yes, thank you, Chair. The Constitution requires that whoever is proposed for appointment by the National Assembly must be fit and proper. So we've, I think, as a committee, determined early on that whilst the requirements set out in the Public Protector Act around experience and positions held would be a basic entry requirement. That doesn't encapsulate everything around the fit part, the fitness part. And in that sense, I think the interview of Advocate Gcaleka unfortunately exposed serious deficiencies. She, of course, interviewed in the context of having been the Deputy Public Protector and the Acting Public Protector, and in that regard, the fact that she's of the view that a Public Protector would have a discretion as to whether all relevant witnesses to a matter is interviewed is very, very worrying. And in the circumstances, somebody who's acted and dealt with a very important investigation without being able to answer as to how one would go about in this country to properly interpret law, in our view, must then lead to a conclusion that there's serious reservations on whether she ultimately, apart from meeting the basic threshold in terms of the qualification in law and practice in law meets what must the threshold around being fit for the position. In terms of propriety, there's unfortunately also, I think, as the Honourable Breitenbach has indicated, also lingering issues. I think she was at best evasive when asked about her time at the NPA, as well as when she was a special advisor to the Minister of Home Affairs. And therefore, I think it's also important at this stage to put on the record that even though we were not, of course, in a position to confront her with that, the fact that community members of the Ntambankulu municipality after the interviews have made contact with us to claim that, contrary to what Advocate Gcaleka claimed during her interview, she has not visited that municipality personally to investigate their plight when crossing the river, completes a picture where from our side we have very serious doubts about her propriety, and therefore we can't support her. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Vessels. Honourable Vessels.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, we have a problem, in my view, and that is that in this whole process, we have the responsibility to protect the legitimacy of the office of the Public Protector. And the public confidence in the Public Protector is paramount to also the legitimacy of our constitutional democracy. And in such case, it's not taking the better of the lot, but it is, or to put it in another way, it's not to settle for the better of the lot of candidates just because there's a lack of someone better. We should get the best person to occupy this office with an unblemished record, and someone who will instill public confidence, or restore rather public confidence in the office of the Public Protector. I am not convinced through the interview that the current acting Public Protector has the capability to restore that confidence. There's unfortunately a cloud and a question mark with regards to her impartiality regarding decision making, and I think that would be, to appoint her, would be to the detriment of the office of the Public Protector and to our constitutional order. And I can thus not support her appointment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honourable Vessels. Honourable Mananiso.
Thank you, Chairperson. One must say that I want to fully support that she be given an opportunity to be the PPSA, to lead the PPSA, and on the basis that when I was asking her questions in terms of the program of action and the special project that she would bring in the office, she articulated to issues that needed to be part of the solutions that the PPSA is looking at on issues of wellness, issues of dealing with internal and external environment. She actually outlined in terms of what is her plan if she were to be given this opportunity. And I'm actually covered mostly by what Honourable Tlhape have said in terms of her being equal to the task, and she has demonstrated that throughout as well on the interview. And lastly, Chairperson, I think I was very pleased by how she responded on the issue of digitalization when she was asked by Honourable Vessel in terms of things that she would bring forth. as the public protector, and as well the issues of accessibility, the way of innovations that she's bringing in terms of public-private partnership, and as well making sure that business become part of the public space in responding to issues of accessibility to people who are at the rural areas. So I think we need to give her that particular opportunity, lastly on the basis that she's young and she's African and she believes in non-racialism, non-sexism, and a democratic country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Soma.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. You know what? It's quite unfortunate that we're discussing this name. Unfortunately, outside there, some of the individuals had already had a predetermined position against this name. And I don't need to be assisted through you, Chair. We're not a church. Thank you very much. But also, Chair, which I will always, even tomorrow and now and yesterday, refuse to agree to a subtle notion that seeks to suggest that if you are a public servant or in the public entities under the leadership of the governing party, you are wrong, you are not fit and proper. I will refuse that because I will be brushing everybody in the same brush with the same paint, which is very unfair. By virtue of, there is a perception that if you don't give a person to prove herself, if she or he is a deputy, and you don't, when the opportunity comes to be interviewed, then there is a challenge there. But however, we did a correct thing, Chair, for her to affirm or de-affirm the perception that would have created about herself as an individual. For me, sitting in the same interviewing panel as a collective, she did respond, even a very uncomfortable questions that I would have ordinarily, as a person this side, would have a difficult to explain myself on them, and even the understanding and innovation and the turnaround strategy. And also, Chair, if you act, you don't have half powers, you act in totality. Hence, she was supposed to do something. And I refuse a notion that seeks to suggest that she was supposed to be lame duck and do nothing, because we would on the same breath say that she's not fit and proper for this position. Thirdly, Chair, for me, the mere fact that almost all of them except one did say that they vote. They are not neutral. The mere fact they vote for somebody which is a political party, but it's none of our business, that one, and we respect the individual positions as it were, democratic rights that are enshrined in the Constitution. Therefore, Chair, for me, in its totality, even to save the cost in the bleeding institution, she has demonstrated she has done that. And for me, she's fit and proper to be the 2023 and until the next 7 years, Chair, to be a public protector, let alone that she's an African. It's got nothing to do with that. She demonstrated that she does have that intellect and legally and also understanding our society and what they expect from the public protector. All sectors and the motive forces of this country, she did speak to them. And for me, I'm happy and agree with Honorable Klape. Thank you very much, and other members, including Honorable Ndabezi Tushenkomtuan. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Soma. Is Honorable Chanchi. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. I chair, and it's very important to speak on this. Until Adv Gcaleka came and we interacted with her, I was worried whether we would have a candidate. I was worried. And she dealt with my worries. In the hour and a half she sat there, she completely dealt with those worries. Because I want to base my comments on the interview. Because on the interview, Adv Gcaleka had a very charged interview and maintained her calmness without being stingy with the responses, because that office is a charged office. You need that kind of a performance. I think she did that. Of the questions that were asked, I was able to only note one question that she admitted that she would want to go and study. That was the question from Honorable Horn about the case that he put to her. She would have responded to all questions, whether you like her response. She dealt, because you might not like how she responds, but she responded to all questions. Because I think it's important that we avoid briefcase outcomes. That it doesn't matter what she said. I had my mind made up kind of issue. Advocate Gcaleka demonstrated that she has both the character and the capability for that office. Throughout the interview, she demonstrated that with beyond any doubt from where I'm sitting. I was amazed, and I must make this point. I was amazed that in 3.5 years being a deputy, about the level of readiness, that here you have a younger woman, and I even said she's the youngest. She's not one of the youngest, she's the youngest of those that came in front of us, and she performed beyond all of her peers who were here. So I was really amazed by the level of readiness to take over the mantle of being the public protector of South Africa. In relation to this issue of fitness to hold office, you would recall that this is one of the questions I would have posed to many candidates, and I would have referred those candidates to a case law of the General Bar of the Council and Nomgcobo Jiba. And one of the characters that are raised there, and I'll list a few of them, is the issue of integrity, is dignity, is capacity, is objectivity, and respect for legal order. Advocate Gcaleka Nompilo Gcaleka meets all of those. Not only in the interview, but when she related her own kind of journey, whether she had to deal with the Richard Mdluli matter at even a younger age. She's demonstrated those kind of issues. And so from where I'm sitting, we have a public protector. She's not just appointable. After her interview in the Yankee bus, she occupied the front seat. She kicked the door and occupied the front seat as a new public protector. I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, colleagues. I wish to add my voice in support of the name of Advocate Gcaleka. And I've counted the names of the colleagues, members of the committee who spoke in support of the name. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 members of the committee spoke in support of the name of Gcaleka Gcaleka.
So you mean 6 ANC members and one IFP?
No. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Yes, that's my observation of the process, and I'm sure we can then declare that as a vote. But I want colleagues to comment.
No, I have a question, Chief. Sorry. Did you count any of the others, or just this last one?
No. I'm saying people who colleagues who spoke in support of the name. All right. So. I now put the name of Advocate Gcaleka Gcaleka as a candidate that we will recommend to Parliament for approval, and if, of course, it receives 60%, it will then be submitted to the President for appointment. All right. Yes, colleagues, over this, President.
Thank you. We just have a comment to make. Kindly note that we do not support that recommendation.
Thank you. Maude?
Yeah, Chair, please register the objection of the EFF on the name Gcaleka. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And any other? Honourable yourselves?
Likewise, Chair.
All right. Is there any further objection to the name? No. No further objection of the name? No. All right. Okay. So the name is adopted. Colleagues, thank you very much. We've worked as the minutes, all the minutes of the committee.
And the report on this.
Oh, the report is ready.
Yeah, we have a draft.
All right. So we do have the draft report. Okay, colleagues, can we then take a short minute break? No. Yeah, so that the report is ready for adoption. In the meantime, we can look at the minutes. All right. We have 3 sets of minutes. Right, minute of the 22nd of August. I take them as read. Do I get a mover and a seconder? First, are there any corrections to effect? Yes, Dr.
Yes, Chair. I had tendered an apology, but I've already spoken to Vor Romano. He will sort it out. It's not reflecting on the minutes.
On the 22nd, there is.
Oh, yes. Sorry,
is.
I think it's for the 23rd. My apologies, Chair.
We will correct the minutes accordingly to include your name and the apologies.
Thank you, Chair.
All right. And yes, Honourable Lesoma.
Since Dr. Gonda is happy that her name reflects on the 22nd of August 2023, I move for the adoptions of the minutes.
The minutes are moved for adoption. Any seconder? Honourable Makwanishe?
I second, Chair.
Seconded. Any objection? No objection. The minutes are duly adopted of the 22nd of August. 23rd of August, interviews. First, any correction?
Chair?
Yes,
just
Dr.
a correction around my apology. That
yes,
must reflect, please.
That will be noted.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. With that, can I get a mover? Klape?
Chair, I move for adoption of the minutes of the 23rd August 2023 as true reflection of the deliberations.
Thank you very much. Any seconder? Honourable Lesoma?
I second, Chair. Thank you very much, as moved by Honourable Klape.
Any objection? No objection. The minutes of the 23rd are duly adopted. And the 24th of August, I present the minutes of the 24th of August for correction first. No correction. But of course we note the name, or we do have the name of Dr. Konde, the 24th. All right. I present the minutes for adoption. Who seconds? Mananiso? Moved for adoption. Seconded by, are you proposing we exclude certain names from the minutes? Honourable Mokwanishe.
I second the proposal, Chair.
The minutes are seconded as duly presented. All right. So we have come to so we're now waiting for the report to be presented. All right. Yeah, it's our report, and
We're the register of this committee.
and
That's Alfred to understand.
You must develop a little bit of shine.
No.
colleagues, I'm sure it will assist to take a covered break for 5 minutes. No, but since when has the chairperson been defied like this? We can flight it. All right. Or we can share it electronically.
Or you want to do better than you? What's wrong with you?
Come again?
Or you actually want to do better than you? What's wrong with you? You see it, bro?